Good morning. Welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am Pastor Eric Halseth, minister here at UUCV. I use he, they pronouns. And what a wonderful yesterday at the wine walk. Welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary, and welcome to all of you on Zoom, wherever you may be. No matter how you got yourself here today to this place of sanctuary, whether driving, cycling, wheeling, zooming, stepping with care, or with such a beginner's mind, empty of everything that you cannot remember how you got here, I am glad you have joined us, because this is a community made of people with many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders, and all are welcome here. I have an announcement somewhere. Where's my phone? Oh boy, I didn't get the announcements done. Oops. After the service today, all visitors and guests are enthusiastically invited to stop by the connecting table in Berg Hall right through these double doors for a chat. Nearby is our welcome table where you will find information about our church and about our faith tradition, Unitarian Universalism. And of course, let me remind you to refer to all of the announcements, whether I announce them or not, in the weekly email message, UUCV this week, for current announcements. Finally, for those who may be new to the church, the sections of seats over here on your right, near the open windows, is being maintained as an area for those of us who are more comfortable being around others wearing masks during worship. We gather here today on land first cared for by indigenous peoples whose stewardship endures across many millennia and generations of people. We give thanks for their presence in the past, right now, and into the future, and we commit ourselves to walking paths of justice, healing, and right relationship. Specifically, we name the Barbareño Ventureño Band of the Chumash peoples who have stewarded their ancestral and unceded territory for at least the last 11,000 years. We honor their ancestors, elders, and descendants as they continue their deep spiritual and cultural connections to these lands and waters. As we enter the time of the year when the sun is lowest in the sky, the days are short and nights long, let us warm this sanctuary, this sacred space, with compassion for each other and love for the world.
Good morning. I am Worship Associate Maureen Daly. We invite those who are joining us from afar through Zoom or live stream to light a chalice or candle at home as Pastor Eric assists in lighting the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary.
With Isaac and Loretta.
May this shared flame connect all of us, whether near or far. Our call to worship this morning is When Death Comes by Mary Oliver. When death comes, like the hungry bear in autumn. When death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut. When death comes like the measles pox. when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades. I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore, I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And I look upon time as no more than an idea. And I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy, and as singular. And each name a comfortable music in my mouth, tending as all music does towards silence. And each body a lion of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Zach Spencer. I invite you all to rise in body and spirit as you are able, as we all sing number 1013, Open My Heart. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. One more time. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
And now for something I'd like to invite all of our young folks or young at heart to join me for the time for the child in each of us. As they come forward, they will gather your non-perishable donations, including food and diapers and wipes for Ride Alliance 805 and Poder Popular, supporting our immigrant neighbors. Our youth will bring the offerings forward to the basket here up at the front, and then join me here on the rug for the time for all ages. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and the rest we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. All right, today's story is called The Gift of the Gemstone. It is a Buddhist wisdom tale, so it is just a story. You're going to notice there's no pictures. So you just have to listen. I will try to act out a little bit of this. There are no pictures. Can you guys handle that?
Yes.
Yes, I hear yes, I heard a no. Okay, we're good. All right, the gift of the gemstone. A wise woman, I suppose she was a teacher of some sort back in those days, was walking through a forest. There among the leaves on the ground, she saw something shiny underneath. Reaching down, she wiped away the leaves, and what do you think she found there?
The gemstone.
A gemstone. You're right. It's like the title gave it away. She picked it up and said, "My, this is very pretty." And she put it in her pouch she was carrying, and she went on her way without a second thought. When the sun was high in the sky, which would be around lunchtime, she sat down under a tree to eat. She was barely settled in when she saw a figure walking towards her. As the person got closer, she saw it was a man, and from what she could tell, the way he was dressed, he didn't have a lot of money. Exactly. "Kind and gentle lady," he said, "do you have any food to share with a wandering stranger?" "I have plenty," she replied with a smile, and she dug into the bag when she had already been eating, but she got out some more. She got out some bread and cheese, and as she was bringing it out, she got the gemstone out because it was kind of in the way, and she set it down, and she spread it all out on a towel for them to share. Now, when he saw the gem, his eyes got very, very big because it was a lovely gemstone and probably worth a lot of money. "Sweet lady," he said, "that is a magnificent jewel." "Yes, it looks quite nice. Do you like it? Here, why don't you have it?" And she gave him the gemstone. The man could not believe his luck. He quickly finished eating, put the gemstone in his pocket, and then he ran away. The wise woman cleaned up lunch. All the food was pretty much gone. Shook off the towel, got rid of all the crumbs, put the towel back in her bag. It was a lot lighter now. There's no food and there's no gemstone. And she started walking again through the woods. But she was surprised a few minutes later to hear footsteps coming up behind her. She turned around, and it was the man again, who she had just shared lunch with. "Wise woman, may I give this back to you?" And he presented her with the gemstone. And she said, "Why don't you want it?" I just don't want it." "Well, what do you want?" she asked him. "I want whatever you have that allowed you to give me that gemstone." And that's our story for today. Let us sing our children out to their wisdom exploration classes. If you will rise and face the center aisle and form a bridge of love for our children to pass under. If you're new, just follow along, and please own your personal space as that makes you happy.
Give away our entire collection, giving it to an organization doing meaningful work in the larger community, or to funds that support people in our own church. This practice is one of the ways we live our values and put them into action, sharing what we have and caring for one another. You can text to give, or folks who are present in the sanctuary can also drop a check or cash in the box at the back wall of the sanctuary now or after the service. Today's offering goes to our own InReach Outreach Fund, which provides assistance to our own members and friends, as well as to others in our community. The amounts given are typically small, but can have a large impact for someone in great need. Recently, a caseworker at Ventura Springs, a housing complex for low-income veterans and formerly homeless veterans, reached out to us for assistance on behalf of a resident. U.S. Vets provides case management, benefits assistance, and employment support for the residents, but benefits don't include all that a formerly homeless individual might need to have in order to attend an interview and actually succeed in obtaining a job. This church gave what U.S. Vets could not: money so that this newly housed veteran could look and feel proud in his new clothing and shoes, and gas money so that he could get to his interview on time. He got the job, and U.S. Vets send their appreciation to us for being there when they call to ask for our help. Please give generously so that this fund can continue to provide needed and timely help. The generosity of this congregation, whose giving spirit helps create a world more just and a world more loving. And now we will pause to share the joys and sorrows that touch our lives. This sharing allows our precious congregation to come together to celebrate, mourn, and support each other as we all walk through our singular lives. If you have a joy or sorrow you'd like to share during Sunday service, you can submit it using the link on our website, uuventura.org, or through the link in our Thursday email bulletin, UUCV This Week. Submissions received by 8 p.m. on Saturday will usually be included in that Sunday service. And now we will share the joys and sorrows of this week. Placing stones in water, each one a symbol of something held deep within. Each stone creating a ripple, touching the lives around us, moving outward in gentle waves throughout this beloved community. I invite you now to speak into the gathered community or write into the Zoom chat the names of those you wish to celebrate, memorialize, or bring into the loving embrace of this beloved community. Pastor Eric will now place one final stone in the water for all the joys and sorrows just shared and those yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be grateful for all that sustains our lives, and remember what touches one of us touches all of us.
I invite you all to remain seated as we sing a hymn I think that's somewhat unfamiliar. So just follow along. This is number 1040, Hush.
Our reading is an excerpt from the Faith Mind Sutra, Verses on the Unfailing Source of Life by Master Sung Khan. The Great Way is not difficult. It only avoids picking and choosing. When love and hate are both absent, everything becomes clear and undisguised. Making the smallest distinction, however, and heaven and earth are set infinitely apart. If you wish to see the truth, then hold no opinions for or against anything. To set up what you like against what you dislike is a disease of the mind. When the deep meaning of things is not understood, the mind's essential peace is disturbed to no avail. The way is perfect like vast space, where nothing is lacking and nothing is in excess. Indeed, it is due to our choosing to accept or reject that we do not see the true nature of things. Live neither in the entanglements of outer things, nor in inner feelings of emptiness. Be serene in the oneness of things, and such erroneous views will disappear by themselves. To deny the reality of things is to miss their reality. To assert the emptiness of things is to miss their reality. The more you talk and think about it, the further astray you wander from the truth. Stop talking and thinking, and there is nothing that you will not be able to know.
I invite you now into a time of meditation. Hold in your mind the dual nature of Mary Oliver reminding us that she doesn't want to end up simply having visited this world, and Master Sung Khan reminding us to stop talking and thinking because there is nothing that you will not be able to know. Sit with wanting to do and to know, and with the need to stop talking and thinking. Approach this meditation with beginner's mind. Place your feet upon the floor, close your eyes if you wish, and breathe in and breathe out. Notice your breath both as it comes in and it goes out. Relax in this moment and just breathe.
It's been a long, dark night, and I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight, but I see a brand new day dawning. I've been looking for the sunshine, 'cause I ain't seen it in so long. And everything's gonna work out just fine. Everything's gonna be alright. It's been all wrong. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. And everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's been a long, long time since I've known the taste of freedom. Those clinging vines that had us bound, well, we don't need them. 'Cause we are strong and we can prove it. We got our dreams to see us through. It's just a mountain, we can move it. Like an eagle, we are eager for the blue. Like an eagle, we are eager for the blue. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright, it's gonna be okay. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. We can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Let me just say first that with the clarity and beginner's mind, if you will, after the meditation, I remember the announcements. All of them. It's very strange. There's two events. I'm going to do it right now. There's two events going on after the service at 11:30. There is the training for the door monitors. I assume that will be happening somewhere near the doors. If not, you'll find it. Yukio and Victor will be leading that. There is also at 11:30 an informational meeting about our new Wisdom Exploration Council. We are going to hold that in classroom 3 back in Berg Hall with Lily and I, and that's to learn more about the Wisdom Exploration Council and to find out who's interested in participating in Wisdom Exploration. The third and final announcement is game night is on Friday. There are going to be a number of kids showing up, so if you have kids and you want to bring them, we'll play some kid-appropriate games, as well as other tabletop games that are more complicated, let's say. But everybody can play any game they want. That's on Friday in Berg Hall at 6. I got a thumbs up. So anyways, last night at the end of a very, very busy week, I had an outline for today's sermon. I had worked on it this week, and I was going to look at it, and I was going to decide. And this was after the wine walk, which I mentioned earlier. I was going to look at that outline, and I was going to, add some quotes into it, and I was going to maybe reorganize it a little, and I was maybe going to even write it out and not just have an outline. And so after the wine walk, we went to the Blue Agave at the Clock Tower Inn because it was a wine walk, and Thousand Oaks is far away, relatively speaking, after a wine walk. And I opened my laptop, and I started looking for the outline. It wasn't there. It was gone. Nothing. Nada, zip, no outline. I started from scratch. Now, this week's subject is beginner's mind. I literally started with a blank page. Not true. I had some notes I had scribbled elsewhere. I brought some stuff in that I had been keeping as I was thinking about the sermon. I already had the reading and the call to worship in there. And so I had, I knew what I was probably going to talk about. But I'm going to tell you, at 8 o'clock at night on Saturday, to not have anything written down is a little disconcerting. Zen master Shunryo Suzuki says, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. I'm going to bet, well, how many people have heard that saying before? Anybody? One person? No? Not a lot of people. That's good. Because if you already know that saying, you have that knowledge about it, do you really have beginner's mind? I don't know. You probably can know that and have beginner's mind. I'm joking, of course. But this concept, it's called Shoshin, beginner's mind, emphasizes having an open mind, leaving your mind open to possibilities, open to new things, not closing it off and saying, I already know everything I need to know. There's more that I can know, and I'm going to leave my mind open to that. It helps if you're eager to learn, maybe even eager to let go of things that we might be wrong about. Having an uncluttered state of mind helps too, because if your thoughts are racing and racing and racing, and you're always thinking about things, it's hard to have an open mind, to have an empty mind, to absorb new things. And being free from preconceptions helps as well, right? It's all the same thing at the end of the day. We let go of what we think we know, and we open our mind to a new way of thinking about things. We let go of rigid limitations that can come with perceived expertise or real expertise. Because even if we're an expert at something, there are still other ways to do the thing that we think we know how to do. Somebody new comes in and says, I know you've been writing surveys for a long time. That's what I did for 20 years, as I wrote surveys and did focus groups. Someone new comes in and says, I have a different way of doing this. Yeah, but I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't need you to tell me how to do it. Well, maybe I learned something new if I only listen to that new voice. So when we contrast the expert mind with the beginner's mind, when we're an expert at something, we defend it. My way is the right way. We categorize it. There's 5 ways you can do this task. That's it. I've done them all. There can't be another way. We rush to, oh yeah, I've seen this before. I know how to handle it. Beginner's mind would work to notice things about what is in front of us. We would listen to new voices, like I said, about writing a survey or something like that. We let reality be surprising to us. We let new things into our lives. When we think about Unitarian Universalism, we find clues in what were our principles, now the shared values and the sources, that point us towards the idea of open mind, right? We have the fourth principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. How can you actually have a free and responsible search for something if you've already closed off your mind? You can't, because you've already decided. And search implies that we're not done, right? We're still searching. We're questioners. The search is never ending. It takes a lifetime. And then maybe you still haven't decided whatever you've decided about faith and God and all that kind of stuff. It takes a lifetime of searching for what is true to us. And beginner's mind is the inner posture that makes genuine searching possible. We open our minds, and we open our minds to new things. We have the first principle, inherent worth and dignity. When you meet somebody who you don't know, you might say, I don't fully know you yet. I want to get to know you. You have an open mind about meeting them. Maybe then it's about letting go of what we see with our eyes and listening, because we won't know who they are if we just judge from the external. We have the fifth source, science. Real scientists, they test assumptions. They have an open mind. They don't say, I've written a theorem and it is true. They test their theory. And when proven wrong, they go back to the drawing board. Scientists, by definition, have to have an open mind, or they're just making stuff up. They're skeptics. That's their job. And that's our job as UUs too. We're professional skeptics. But within that, beginner's mind is not naivete. It's not about opening your mind and letting anything into it. We all have judgment. We can say, yeah, I don't agree with that. When maybe our president says something and we go, I don't know if that's true. Like, we don't just, oh, my mind's open. Okay, yeah, that's true. No, we don't do that. We're smarter than that. Beginner's mind is a spiritual discipline, though, of humility. We are trusting. We are trusting that, for some of us, it might be the divine, whatever shape that takes. It might be the world in front of us. We trust. It might be our neighbors. We trust that they are looking out for us. Maybe they're going to take our trash cans in if we forget. So we have some humility that other people, because I did just bring up, sometimes we get lied to. We also know that people are good. Mary Oliver, right, she wrote about seizing life. What did she say? When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. And that's true, and an open mind helps us, a beginner's mind helps us to get to that feeling of not simply having visited. But what happens if we try too hard? Are we then closing off our mind because we're trying, we have to accomplish? I don't know. Because then we hear from Master Senkan, who says, the more you talk and think about it, the further astray you wander from the truth. Stop talking and thinking, and there is nothing that you will not be able to know. Truly a call to a beginner's mind, if there ever was one. But it's not fully realistic. Maybe it's somewhere in between those two thoughts, those two ideas. somewhere in there, beginner's mind allows us to learn without preconceived notions. But we also have to, get the laundry done. So how can we apply beginner's mind to our lives? Well, within ourselves, we could shift from self-judgment. Why am I doing this? Being very critical of ourselves. To curiosity. Why am I feeling like this? What's happening inside of me right now as I experience this thing, this whatever's happening? It opens room for growth, for healing, and for compassion towards ourselves, who we're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. It opens compassion towards our own imperfections. We can use it in our relationship to the holy, whatever form that takes. If you use language, it could be from God, Spirit, love, mystery, the divine. The beginner's mind says, maybe the divine is showing up in a way I have not recognized before. Prayer and meditation can be thought of as listening with curiosity, whether or not that is to one of those words that I used. I don't know. Maybe it's just emptying your mind, listening to the silence. Our spiritual practices are another area where we can use beginner's mind, because a lot of our spiritual practices, meditation, maybe reading sacred texts, whatever form that takes for you, Lectio Divina. It's not about mastering the technique. It's about doing it over and over again, regardless. We show up again and again on Monday nights, right, for meditation. And it's not always easy. Meditation, speaking of which, it's a lifetime practice. Like, you don't get good at it because you try harder and harder. You get good at it because you do it over and over again. And suddenly, it makes sense. And you're meditating. For myself, I have a spiritual director, and every month she starts our meeting with 3 minutes of silence. And if I close my eyes and I try to maintain that 3 minutes of silence, it is so difficult. But I've found, and this is the doing it over and over again, if I open my eyes slightly, that all goes away. I don't know why. Some people close their eyes and some people don't. But it took me a lot of time to figure out what my problem was when my eyes were closed. The problem is it just doesn't work for me. Another thing we might have an open mind for is how people dress. We might say, why is Eric standing up there wearing a t-shirt? That's not appropriate for Sunday morning. It's Frankenstein, and it's a Christmas t-shirt. He's got a candy cane and a Santa hat, and I bought this t-shirt last night at the wine walk. And we bought another t-shirt and some earrings and different things because you had to walk into businesses, right, to taste the wine. And we walked into this particular business, and if I had worn a plain white button-down shirt, I wouldn't get to tell you about this in the same meaningful way. What that store does, it's called Industry Horror, is it employs people who are on the spectrum. And after high school, when they're learning how to have a job, they can go and work in the print shop, or they can work in the storefront. It's right across the street from the movie theater on Main Street. And they have a job, and they do job things, whatever that is. And it teaches them that skill. And it's a great 501c3. Maybe we'll try to vote on it next go around. Anyways, the point is we have an open mind to like, why is Eric wearing that shirt? He shouldn't be. 2, oh, I just learned about a thing on Main Street, and it's a cool store that makes Frankenstein shirts with Santa hats and benefits the community. In conflict, we could apply beginner's mind, where maybe instead of saying, I already know what they're going to say, I don't want to hear it. We could try, what am I not seeing yet? Am I listening deeply enough to this person? What might be true for them that feels really risky and scary for me, and so I am fighting it off? It can help de-escalate in that moment. Defensiveness, it helps us to open our minds to see empathetically what the other person is saying to us. It can open the door to repair. What is my part in this conflict? Having an open mind, a beginner's mind, allows you to see that. Not holding on to the preconceived notions. We can use active listening and empathetic response, if you want to put it into therapeutic terms. When we welcome newcomers, we can practice beginner's mind. What do they see when they walk in? How do I approach them? How do we see this building? How do we see the liturgy? How do we see our social events to somebody new walking in? Beginner's mind. What's it like to be that person the first time you come in? And some of us have been here a long time, right? We can use it in justice work. It can be an antidote to oppression, because we can be curious about how oppression works in people's lives. We can open our minds to what's it like if you are living in this country right now and you are part of a group of people who are under attack and becoming more and more marginalized all the time by government policies. Again, I guess it falls back under the we are actively listening to people and having an empathetic response to them. It helps us to, having a beginner's mind, helps us to listen across differences between us, whoever we are, and others. It removes sometimes that, well, it doesn't remove the otherness. We can't be the other person, but we can understand more about them regardless of what their intersections are with these different identities, and ours, whatever our intersections are. And we don't fall back on defensiveness then, because we have a beginner's mind, we're empathetically listening. When we show up and we do the work, if we're listening to people, we're not there to save them. We're there to learn from them. And we can ask, what do I need to unlearn about my part in something, as much as what should I do about it? Meaning the external thing. I can fix it if I go fix that thing, versus what's my part in this, whatever it is. So what are some ways that we can actually put beginner's mind into practice? We could do a first time walk. You could try this out. You could walk a familiar street near your house as if you had never been there before. I mean, I guess you could go down Main Street and you could go, industry horror, what's that? Why would I want to go into that store? For example, I'm not saying you have to go. There'd be a flood of UUs afterwards going to the store. They're like, why are you all here? They have some cool stuff, But take a walk down Main Street and look for things that you haven't ever seen before. Open your mind to the beginner's mind. It's like your first time in Ventura. I lived here a long, long time ago, and I walked up and down Main Street, and coming back here, for the first time, I mean, I drive through, but not as, being here a lot of days of the week. It's all new and fresh to me and exciting. And sometimes if we're in a place for a long time, we lose some of that. So really trying to open our minds and looking around and notice things you've never noticed before. Maybe if you're having a little bit of a tense conversation with somebody, try saying this silently to yourself. You don't have to say this out loud. What if I'm wrong about this? Reapproach whatever the difficulty is with that. What if I'm wrong about this thing, whatever it is? Have maybe a practice of asking curious questions. Try, instead of offering advice, for one day, you could try this for one day. Instead of offering advice, unless somebody says, ask specifically for advice, respond with questions that show curiosity about whatever it is, the person. If it's something you're doing with another person, you could say, what are you doing there? Instead of, look at what I'm doing. This is the way to do it. And have beginner's gratitude. You can look at ordinary things and realize many, many people worked to make the thing that you are holding in your hand, the coffee mug. Somebody designed the art that's on the coffee mug. Somebody built a machine. It'd be nice to think there's a potter somewhere making all of this, but we know that it's probably made by a big machine. Think about all the people who went into that, the mechanical engineers who built it, the people who assembled it, the people who run the machine at the factory, and then the people who put it on the ship or in the truck and it gets here, and then somebody sells it to you. All those people went into you having this object in your hand. Beginner's mind allows us to see that object and understand how many people touched it to create that object. And if it's a wonderful piece of, an artisan piece like this, we can actually trace the creation of this object. And then we also have to trace the wood, and we can think about how long that tree was there before it was built, before it was chopped down and became this chalice. So, beginner's mind is wonderful and all, right? But we also have to identify that it's not ignoring expertise or evidence. We don't treat harmful ideologies as if, we should really listen to what somebody is saying as they try to take other people's rights away. There are lines where beginner's mind, we can shut it off and say that's not an appropriate thing. But it is holding our strong convictions with humility and knowing that we can open our minds and learn still. We're UUs. We honor both critical thinking and spiritual openness. So, how do we think about it here in this community? Like I said earlier, how do we welcome new people? How do we imagine the future? What do we do when we disagree about something? How do we approach it? I'm arguing that beginner's mind is a great place to start. So, I want us to try something really quick, and I know it's 11 o'clock. But we're almost at the end, and it's quick. I want you to look to your left. Look to your left, not generically at left. Or if you're looking at a wall, Bob, I see you looking at the wall. You don't have to look to your left. You can just look up here. And when you look to your right, you over here, folks, there's windows. You can't see through them. There's blinds. You can look over here. There's people to your left and your right, and behind you and in front of you maybe. Is there anyone who you saw who maybe you don't know or you haven't spoken to in a while? I want you to try something, new for today. Say hi to them really quick. We'll take like 30 seconds. Just say hi, say hello. If you don't know them, introduce yourself. Okay. Coffee hour is going to be in like 5 minutes. You can talk all you want then. But thank you for humoring me with that brief exercise. And as we return into this space, may we be wise enough to be beginners, brave enough to say, I don't know, tender enough to be surprised by one another, and open enough to meet this world as if it were always new. Approach the world with a beginner's mind. May it be so, and amen.
I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit as you are able, as we all try something new. Number 1036, Calypso Alleluia. We'll be singing. Who sung this one before? I thought not. Oh, look at that. So we're going to do each line twice, just so you know. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, 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 singing hallelujah, 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 sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. Blessed be, sing blessed be, sing blessed be, sing blessed be, singing blessed, blessed be, blessed, blessed be, blessed be, sing blessed, blessed be, blessed, blessed be, blessed be, sing blessed be, sing blessed be, sing blessed be, sing blessed be.
All of you here in the sanctuary today are invited after the service for coffee, tea, bagels, and conversation in our community room, Berg Hall. And now, please join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. Those we carry into our lives until we are together again.
So this week, you do have homework. I want you to see each dawn as if it was the first you have ever seen, and each sunset with gratitude for having made it through another day. Find something at which you are an expert and leave your learned knowledge behind. Ask yourself how you would do a task or talk to a person, or how you would treat yourself in a given situation as if you had never experienced that job, emotion, or situation. Mary Oliver said, I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Approach the world as a child, with open hands, an open heart, and an open mind, and find something new within yourself. As Master Senghan wrote, stop talking and thinking, and there is nothing that you will not be able to know. Blessed be, and may it be so.